Hi, this is Sarah Russell, and this is another video in my series of um, videos to support colleagues. Um, this video series is based on questions that I often receive in my mentoring process with holistic health practitioners. So today's topic is a common issue that comes up, which is comparing yourself to others. When you are comparing yourself to other practitioners whose accounts you follow on social media, it's incredibly important to realize that you're comparing two completely different things. You're comparing your knowledge of your own daily life and struggles, day in and day out in your private life, to somebody else's selection of how they present themselves in a public space um, for their professional online persona. Those are two completely different things. And I want to preface this everything else that I'm going to say in this video by saying please do not take any of this as judgment or criticism of either the person doing the comparing, because it is completely normal, or the person who is um, filtering their life through social media based on the lenses that they need in order to communicate what they want to communicate to their audience. I'm not saying in any way that that presenting yourself on social media as a professional implies deception. Um, you're just obviously not telling the entire story of every single thing that you do from the moment you get up and all the struggles and everything in between what you post. So what we post on social media is a little bit like a resume. So when you put together your resume, if you're an honest individual, just like I'm assuming that professionals posting things on social media are being honest, we're just being selective. That's the thing. So when other people run across our feed, they don't know what we're not saying, what we're not sharing. So they just assume that what we are presenting on social media is what we're actually doing. Um, so if you're watching this video, I mean, it's not like 100% curated or perfect, but what if I told you, this is like my fifth attempt, and the first time I had to stop stop the video because I found a tick crawling on my arm, and the second time, my kid came in the room, and the third time I realized that I was babbling on about something when what I really needed to do was focus more on the outline that I sort of had in my mind. Um, but ultimately, what you see is the last version. It's the version that I post. It's not obviously perfect, but it is in some way filtered and curated based on what I want to communicate to you as my audience. You don't need to see the first version where I start talking and then I see a tick crawling on my arm and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to stop now. Like, what do you need that for? But, you know, that happens too. So what you see in your own daily image of yourself as somebody having a private life and also trying to run a professional practice is you see the struggles, you see the obstacles, you see the imperfections, all of all of those like hurdles, and you're like, but other people don't have those because I see their social media feed and I'm not seeing those hurdles. We all have hurdles. Um, even, everyone, even the most successful people. So please be careful when you are comparing your private persona to somebody else's public persona. Our private identity and our online identity are two distinct things, no matter how honest and sincere we are with ourselves and others. Our lives are not recorded 100% of the time. Thank goodness. We have privacy, we have objectives. When we post things online, we have discernment. Um, so when you compare yourself to someone else, it should be somebody that you know really, really well, both um, in their private life and in their professional life. So if you have a really good friend who's a colleague that you can talk to heart to heart and say, look, I I tried 3 times to launch something this year. Um, I I just feel like such a failure when I think about you because when you do launches, they work. And what if the other person looks at you and goes, "Oh, yeah, okay, those 3 launches work, but what about the other 6 that fell flat?" You know, for every success that you see in a colleague, there is a story of them failing many, many times. There is no individual in our profession or in any other profession that is just having a story of success after success after success. Um, that that's not the reality. So um, it's really important for you to try to remember that when you compare yourself to another person. Here's an exercise for you. If you have a resume and it's up to date, you should go to your resume um, and read it. What you'll see is highlights. You're not going to see everything. When you read your resume, you'll go, "Oh gosh, I did all those things. I'm pretty cool." Yes, you are. And so is everyone else out there, and we're all being selective. Um, and so please try to be compassionate with yourself in your process of struggling daily. In your process of building a practice, it takes so much time. You have to fail so many times to start succeeding. Just like, we all learned how to walk after falling so many times. And guess what? We're all, all of us who are past the stage of learning how to walk pretty dang well. And we don't even think about, how hard that was at the beginning. We just take it for granted. Um, it's the same thing when you're just starting as a professional, with the difference that, a baby who's learning how to walk is not going to give up. Sometimes really gifted professionals with so much potential to help other people give up because they think it should be easier, because they think that they should be luckier, because they think, oh gosh, that person over there that I'm following on social media, they're they just like manage. Like, what am I missing? Like, I must not be good at what I'm doing. I must not be talented. I must not be lucky or whatever enough. You are enough. So is the other person. They're not being spoon-fed clients. They're working really, really hard, just like you are. Or they're somewhere a little bit further along in their journey. At this point in my career, I have a full practice. Um, I sometimes have to refer people out, or my practice would be overflowing all the time, and I wouldn't have a good work-life balance. So, but I didn't start out that way. When I started as a nutritional therapy practitioner 8 years ago, when I opened my doors to my practice, I hardly had anybody. I was just building. I was like, how do those other people do it? And I was figuring it out, and I made a million mistakes. And I'm stubborn as heck. And that is probably one of the few reasons why I'm still here today and succeeding. But along with the successful things that I do, I fail all the time. Like, I have failed launches. I have projects that go on hold. I have tasks that I'm not able to complete. I have an email inbox that is like, you know, sometimes exploding. Um, it happens. It's normal. And and the successful practitioner is going to have those struggles and go, "Oh yeah, okay, this is daily life. This is normal. Like, this happens to everyone." And and the person who is not going to be successful is the person who's like, "Why am I just so unlucky?" Well, I mean, you can feel that way often and get over yourself, which is what I highly recommend that you do, and then you're successful. But success is the only way to success is through failure after failure after failure. Um, I wrote a dissertation when I was in grad school, when I was doing my PhD. And for every single chapter of my dissertation, there was a crappy draft and a crappy second draft and a lot of other crappy drafts and lots of mistakes and lots of things that got cut. And a few very kind souls read many drafts of my stuff and were like, you know what, this really sucks. And like take it out or fix it or like go back to the library and get some more resources. Like that is totally normal. Like that is how every good dissertation gets written. That's how every good project gets completed. We get a lot of help. We fix what's broken. And things are just like a mess at the beginning and in the middle. And then you just a mess, it's a mess, it's a mess, it's a mess. You work and you work and you work and you work. And then it finally, like you are able to bring the pieces together. That is life. That's normal. What what you'll see if you look up my dissertation is the finished product. You're not gonna see the drafts. Like I have the draft somewhere on an old uh flash drive somewhere. That was like probably 15 computers ago. Part of the struggles that I've had over the years have been computers that have died suddenly, at the least convenient moments of all. Um, that's part of it, right? So these things happen to everyone. Don't compare yourself in your daily struggles to other people's successful social media image. Remember that we all have a private struggling identity, and we also have a public professional online identity. Those are two different things, and thank goodness they are, because nobody wants to see like you freaking out when you find a tick on your arm. Like that's just not really for public consumption. So, um, with that being said, be kind to yourself. Remember that life is complex, and that success comes after many failures, and that resilience is a really, really important skill. Be patient, be stubborn, be kind, and um, go forth and keep trying. If you would like to reach out with comments or questions, or you would like to seek professional mentoring from me in your quest to succeed through the various failures, which I completely can relate to because I have gone through many of them myself, please feel free to get in touch and I will be happy to set up a time to talk. Take care and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.